I I don't know, bro. I struggle so much with just thinking I guess I'm doing the right thing or focus. I don't know what it is, bro, but I have some sense of like overwhelmingness that it just takes over, and I will completely get sidetracked from like all the things that I try to do, and then I try to like over plan, and I don't know. I feel like I put myself in a bad position a lot of times because I try so hard, to have a system, to plan, to make a checklist, to do all that. And then for some reason, like when life happens and just the day to day struggles, the day to day challenges, anything happens, it completely throws me off track and I completely forget, I guess, what I should be doing, what like I just bypass it and I don't do good. Now, the good news is that this time around on this, 90-day, whatever you want to call it, there is a few things that I really, really, really just need to dial in, that I need to stop playing around with, that I am not doing great with. Now, I don't consider it like, oh, I fell off the wagon, because there are some good things that I picked up. My wife and I have been going to the gym at our apartment, and I feel good about it. Now, something I need to do is really, really dial in my eating. The good news is I have made progress learning about, weighing my food and proportions and stuff like that. And something that I really just need to do, bro, is shut up and be in the process, in the grind, in the actual, day to day movements of my goals. And it's easy to get sidetracked by your dreams and by your goals and your, like, the things that you set out to achieve or to accomplish. I get lost in that sometimes, and I spend so much time with the planning aspect that do not I do not apply myself in the follow through, but also I'll get like very lost in the follow through or very discouraged, and just so many different things. Let me see if this will. That'd be really, really cool if it will stay up there. Will it stay? By itself, yes, it will. Look at that. And then I got the little screen right here. That's actually really convenient. I like that. But this place is a mess, and I'm getting to that. So what I'm saying overall is, I don't know, bro. I kind of like holding it better because I can see myself in that one. I don't know. It just felt kind of weird. We got Rocky right here hanging out with us today. Huh? We at work, buddy? Huh? He came with Dad to work. Yeah. I'm getting at something. I promise. I get overwhelmed with the process, and then I just get thrown off, and then I beat myself up when I'm not consistent, and I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure out what works for me, and that's a big. I know that there's a lot of people that struggle with the same thing that I do. I mean, I'm open for any ideas and any help and figuring anything out for me. Like I'm all ears, I'm down for it. But I struggle so much with consistency. I haven't been the good business owner that I've been. I haven't been very present in my business. I for sure haven't been very present in my active life. Like I haven't been being active and doing, like, I'm just talking over a long period of time. And I'm saying all that to say, like, I like that I'm doing these videos so almost like a time capsule. Like it's 90 days before. So when you're seeing this was filmed 3 months ago. So no matter what, my situation is different than this video now. So I guess I feel a little bit more comfortable to talk about my struggles and X, Y, and Z, because it's not like I'm talking about my struggle and then posting it today. It's like I have time to actually work on those things, So 15 days from now, before the video even goes up, it's like, hey, I posted this thing and I was in this situation. I overcame it, or I lost some weight, or I got better. I don't know. But I have been struggling for a long, long time with consistency, with follow through, with organization, with systems, and like I just have such a problem with authority, and even when I try to set the authority myself, I just don't follow it and I completely fall off and I stop doing it. And I don't know, man. I'm just not the most consistent guy ever, and it really sucks because your expectations for yourself, they get really low. You know what I mean? You expect a lot from yourself, but there's only so many times or so many hundreds of times that you can tell yourself that you're going to do something a certain way, and then you don't even follow through with the thing that you said that you were going to do for yourself. And I don't know, man. It sucks, man. It really does suck. I am trying to overcome that. I'm trying to become a person that follows through with the things that I say I'm going to do, the things that I need to do, the habits that I need to stop, the addictions that I need to stop, the lifestyle that I need to live and step into is literally just waiting for me to stop like whining. And I've kind of always struggled with this stuff, man. Like when I have a job, for example, I'm filming for somebody, and I was filming for this group at this gym, and the guy hired me to film at the gym, and I am very distracted with my time and like being able to do multiple things at once. I'm not very good at multitasking. I'm not very good at, like, I have a whole clothing brand, and my clothing brand at the time, we're having a couple hundred orders a month. I am doing so much with the brand that it's like, okay, bro, I need to be doing that. But then I'm also making good money at the gym that is like full-time job money, to where it's like hard to have two different things. And then, it gets to a certain point where I said, hey, if I feel like if I give up on this dreamer stuff and I like let go of it, then I'm going to regret it, because now is the time for me to go all in. And then I went all in. And for the past 2 years, this is what I've been doing full time. I haven't necessarily done it all right financially, as far as like how much I should pay myself, or paying myself enough, or paying myself the right way, versus like a W-2 versus just a Zelle or something like that. Like, there's so many things that need to be figured out, and there's areas where I just need to grasp onto what needs to be learned. I need to learn it, I need to apply it, and I need to forgive myself for not knowing, because nobody is holding my hand teaching me this stuff. But something that I am very mad at myself for is like, those 2 years I'm working for Dreamer, I've really just been chilling. I have been packing orders and not even been super consistent with every single day, or being very on time or very on point with responding to customer service stuff. Like I said in the last video, I have been very inconsistent with that stuff and being very timely, and I need to think about it like I'm running a company. I am trying in these videos. I mean, dude, what's the point in being so overwhelmed in, well, should I post this, or should I talk about this, or should people see this, or what? Like, why am I so concerned when we're only really given this one life, and in this life we have the ability to change people's lives and to help other people, and to kind of put our life on the line, and lay our experiences out, and lay everything out for other people to pick through it and gain things from it. And then ultimately, when we are able to be in a position to where people look at us and then they see God in us, like they see who we serve and they see who we follow, and they know that we are believers and followers of Jesus Christ. And we got to get to that position. And that's like ultimately what is the purpose and is the thing that I need to be focused on. But I also get so pulled to, having to be successful, and having to make money with my brand, and having to be full-time in this versus go get a job. Because there's so many times where I feel like, do I need to go get a job now? Do I need to? And it's me consistently, not saying that I won't ever be in that position, but me contemplating that, it's okay. But I think the issue is when it's almost like I'm living in fear, waiting. When do I gotta get it? It's almost like that. Like, oh, I'm entertaining the idea because I'm not giving this my all, and I'm not really believing in my dream. And I need to get back to that, bro. And having a wife and having a kid and having these big changes in my life definitely changed the trajectory at which I can chase a dream. Like, how much can I just drop everything and go, and all those elements, those change, those shift, and that's like a given. Like, that's known. Those things are going to happen. But there's no reason that I should be lollygagging about my business, like the thing that I'm building to supply food and shelter for my family. Like, this is it. I'm not going to clock in at no 9 to 5 right now at this point in time in my life. I have a clothing brand that is known around the world. We've sold in every single state in the United States. It's been in multiple countries. We sell out of pop-ups. We have NFL players wearing our stuff. We have 25 people with the logo tatted on them. This brand has potential to be something. This brand has potential to build something and to grow something. And I am the only thing in the way of it. Now, I do struggle with the back and forth of like, oh, well, should I be giving my brand everything, or do I need to just be present in my family and only read my Bible and pray, and maybe I don't need to be doing the brand stuff. Maybe that's like selfish ambition and thinking I need to be successful. And that's where I'm at right now, like struggling with that, because I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know what is the right thing that I should be doing. I would think that if I have something that's such a blessing like this in my life, that feels like a blessing, that God would want to use this in some sort of way, and this is here for me to like do something with, not for me to just be like, oh, that was all selfish, I gotta let it go, and we don't do that no more. I now just need to navigate and figure out it's probably just me shutting up, like I talked about in yesterday's video, and being present in the everyday moment. And then a lot of it is playing the long game too. Like these videos being posted in 90 days. And y'all remind me to get back to the point I was talking about with the gym and how I can't multitask very well, and how I ended up jumping here. But I think that it hindered, like me jumping to this definitely affected. I guess I'm talking about it now. Me jumping to this versus kind of just riding the edge made it to where I didn't focus on stability here. I didn't focus on building the foundation. I just jumped and tried to survive off of it, when in reality I could have kept building a foundation and just had a slower growth but stronger foundation for a time like today. So I guess that's pretty much it right here. So I didn't give that job my all. And that guy probably doesn't like me for it and thinks I'm lazy and all that, because he's not wrong. You know what I mean? I didn't give that my all. I have a hard time focusing on even my own stuff. So how am I going? I mean, putting this out there is not any different than how other people act. Like, you do things at your job that you don't follow through, and you don't do the things that you would do if your boss was watching you do it. You're going to halfway sweep the bathroom. You're going to halfway. And I do that in my own business. And of course I'm going to do it in other people's business. You know what I mean? As far as my lazy tendencies. Hey, I'm trying to get out of here. We had a customer in here past 8:30 and we close at 9. And I got to now do this, and I'm probably not leaving until 10:15 now. Okay, I'm going to halfway do this. And that mentality. But when you own a business, you can't do that. And I brought those habits into my own business. And it's even worse because, dude, especially when you're making the money that is paying you. You know what I mean? You're making money that is in your pocket. You know what I mean? And it's not like, oh, you made that guy money and then you'll get paid on Friday. It's like, I sold 30 pairs of shorts today. I got a couple bands in my pocket, and that's how you feel. And it's not necessarily like that once you get it, somewhat organized because you see it as, oh, that's the business's bank account, not just, oh, I sold that many shorts in person or it was my personal bank, so it starts to change, but I didn't mature into my business. So the way that I've been running it is very much like a child that is, when I worked my first job at Domino's, you think I was I thought I was a solid employee. I was actually competing for like the fastest pepperoni pizza, you know what I mean? The fastest out of the Domino's that are owned by the same owner. I got a little pin on my hat because I hit a certain time that qualified me to compete. It was like a whole little thing. But at the end of the day, I was lazy. I could do that because I like competition, but maybe I'm not sweeping the right way, like I said, or mopping the right way, or neatly putting a pepperoni or weighing the cheese like you're supposed to, and X, Y, and Z. Like there's things that you won't do, but when you own a business, you gotta like extra do those things, and you'll have and I'm talking to you guys, but I'm playing it out in my head because, like I said, bro, these 90 days are for me to figure it out, or I'm gonna lose it. You know what I mean? So, I lost my train of thought here. See what I mean? It's difficult for me to focus in specific areas and stay there in that pocket and grind out that conversation without getting sidetracked. But I don't know. Just to kind of segue over, I need to get this in order. You know what I mean? I need to get this in order. I brought those habits, those bad habits from my first job at Domino's to when I was detailing cars, and I would be speeding in the car when I had to drive. Like, you drive to the offsite, you go pick up the car, and you're in a freaking Porsche or a stick shift Mustang, and you're whipping it back to the place that you really shouldn't. And I'm 18 and I'm working at this place that's allowing me to drive, Mercedes. Or I was 20 years old when I was working at Mercedes, and I drove a Mercedes all the way to West Palm Beach from Lakeland. It was like 2.5 hours. And then I got to drive a Porsche back, a 5-speed Porsche 911. And I'm 19 years old. You think I wasn't sliding with the convertible down? You know what I mean? I shouldn't have been, especially because this isn't my thing. This is the company's, and I'm representing this company. What happens if I get pulled over? What happens if I get seen by somebody? What happens if I get in a car accident? Like, there's responsibilities that when you start to become an adult, you realize, oh yeah, that was real dumb. Like, I sit back and laugh today, but I had 2 street bikes when I was younger. I used to daily a street bike, bro. I had a Gixxer 600 was my upgrade. My first one was a Ninja 3. I think it was a 300, or it's either a 250, but I think it was a Ninja 300. And then I got a Gixxer 600, and that Gixxer, you think I didn't do 180 on the interstate one time? Yeah, because I got used to it, and I'm driving it. I had my Civic that broke down, and I dailied my street bike to work from South Lakeland to North Lakeland, like 30 minutes on the interstate every day. Twice a day, I'm driving on the interstate, and I am sliding on that bike. Yes, that's dumb. I am grateful that I'm here today, but I get older and I realize it's stupid. It's the same thing in my business. I realize there's so many dumb things that I've done. But a lot of it stems from my laziness. A lot of it stems from my overeating, my lack of discipline and finances, and just not following through on anything. It directly affected my business and how I've done my business. And now I'm at this point, and I actually love how I'm about to structure these videos, bro. And it's so simple, and it's a very I don't care method, but it's a lot deeper than the cinematic. I'm past that game. I don't care about that no more. I'm thinking real life. I don't need to sit here. If it takes me a week to get a point across, to make a vlog, and I'm trying to get a premise to this video to make people like it so it can pay me, I don't care about all that. To share the real, I like what's real and what I'm going through and what I'm experiencing. I need to display it or explain it in a very probably long form, very boring, a lot less angles, and I need to just get it out there. I need to stop getting sidetracked because I keep going down another like whole line of talking points, and then I get sidetracked of the point, and then it makes these videos too long. But who cares at the end of the day? Sorry if you're watching this video, but I think the point of these 90 days too is to really help me. I mean, the point of it is to figure my life out before I lose it. You know what I mean? If I'm playing with my health, and I'm going to be 40 years old and nothing else mattered anyway. You know what I mean? Because I'm going to be overweight. If I have the habits that I have today in all my areas, I'm going to be broke. I'm going to be bankrupt. I'm going to be fat, overweight. I'm going to be addicted to alcohol or weed, or like there's going to be cigarettes. I don't know. If I'm going down the path that I'm going right now, it will compound over time in a negative way, and I will be overweight because I've gained weight. You know what I mean? I haven't taken care of my business or taken care of my finances when I should have. And when I made a bunch of money with the brand and, Black Friday, did I make that money stretch over 2025? No, I didn't. Why did I not have a better system? Why did I not order this certain way and get this thing in line? And why did I not, when I'm able to be at home, why was I not doing 200 push-ups a day? And why was I not going to the gym and being consistent with the gym? Because now I have a wife, and I have a son, and I have a dog, and I have a business, and all of these things now that take up my time, that pull me away from doing things for myself. So it's even harder now to do the things that need to be done in my life. It's even harder. It's way more difficult to go to the gym or to eat healthy because now I have so many more things at play here. But the really unique part is I got about 3 months of, if I kick it from now for 3 months, I'll be dead broke. I won't have a business, and I'll be overweight, and my marriage will probably be ruined, and I'll be a bad dad. Kind of all of these negative things, right? If I'm just at this rate, the things I've been doing the past 3 months, 4 months, if I just continue these habits, I got like 3 months until it's like looking real bad. But I also say, hey, bro, I got about 3 months of start right now. Lock in. Don't lift your head. Don't distract yourself at all. Don't watch videos that aren't teaching you something. Don't eat unhealthy. Make sure you're fasting. Listen to the word of God. Make sure you're opening your Bible. Make sure that you're being productive. Make sure you're not consuming anything that is making you not sober. Don't smoke any weed, and don't eat any edibles, and don't drink at all. And make sure you're drinking a lot of water, and make sure that you're doing making choices that are making your body better and more fit and more active. And make sure you're saving money where you need to save it. Make sure you're paying off credit cards. Make sure you are staying up to date on your finances. Make sure that your inventory in here looks really good and is accounted for and is understood, and your orders with your manufacturer on time, and your marketing is the right way. Like you have content that feels a certain way, and it is handled the right way when it comes to your email marketing and your customer relationship, and being able to have good customer service, and then on top of that, running ads, and just being ready for the big things that are happening, and even pop-ups, being ready for that stuff. It's bro, you got 3 months to figure it out. Not like it's figured out in 90 days, but hey, you're in the process starting now. You're in the process right now. You're in the process. If you're watching this right now, this is really day 4 for you. You know what I mean? It's really day 3, and today for me is day 2, even though my 90 days started in December. I'm not necessarily going to start over my 90 days because I'm still in the same mindset, but I do have a workout sheet that I am now tracking, and I started that yesterday. So you guys are on the same track. So technically, this is really day 2. That's probably, I don't know how I'm gonna upload it yet. You'll figure it out, but most likely, um, and I'll get these on track once I line it up. Once I get organized, I'm gonna line these up, and however I'm gonna post them, I'm gonna go ahead and schedule them. But until that happens, I don't really know how the rollout is going to happen. But I know that this is, as you're watching this, this is a series. This is a documentary series of me locking in and figuring it out, and you're seeing me at my worst right now, but I am 90 days ahead of today right now as you're watching this. So hopefully I'm in a better position. You know what I mean? In 90 days, I better figure something out. The business better be popping. You know what I mean? I better be buff. I better, be dialed. You feel me? I better be present. I better be a good dad. I better know some scripture. 90 days is a long time. You know what I mean? I better be flexible and have good balance, because 90 days of me locking in, that's a long time. So this is my workout schedule, and I kept it very, very simple. So we're just going treadmill, arm circles, arm circles on the treadmill, then my mobility circuit, and then hangs. And all of that is, I'm not writing a time, I'm not writing out what it is. It's whatever I'm feeling in that moment. So the treadmill, it's easy. It's self-explanatory. 1 mile with elevated 3 on the treadmill, and all I got to do is check mark that. Did I do it that day? Because it doesn't change. I'm not changing. I'm not doing 5 miles today and this. No, I'm being consistent. Arm circles is because, dude, my arms, I never really put my arms above my head and like stretch and stuff like that. And I want it to be a little different than my mobility circuit. So the arm circles are kind of like on the treadmill as I'm walking and doing stuff like that. That's a check. Mobility circuit, check. And then hangs are very important, check. And then I just have a full body, maybe I'll go more in depth in this a different time, but I got a full body type of workout plan. And this is just 2 sets. And I have room in here to change what weight I'm doing and how many reps I'm doing, so that can change. But I want to do full body every day because my full body needs it. I can't go into a routine right now and guarantee that I'm going to hit the gym on Wednesday. So if I do legs on Monday and I'm supposed to do legs on Wednesday, but then I miss Wednesday and then I miss Friday and then I miss Monday, and then it's like, dang, I didn't do legs in a week. And now I'm hurting and I set myself back. So what I'm trying to do, and I hope that this doesn't set me back. I don't know though. I don't know yet. In 90 days, I'll know. But I just want to do this. This is the whole thing takes about an hour and a half, and it's a full body. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling strong after I've done it for 3 days now. Like I said, I started the tracking the weight and reps, and the goal is to improve, and not just to improve, but also to just have data. What did I do? Did I have 3 days of pages where I had to skip and I didn't go to the gym? And okay, how was I feeling? And then what did I do instead? What activity? It's just a way for me to track, because I'm telling you guys, I suck at this organization thing. But if I get better at it, I think that is something that will really help me in so many areas. When you own a business, SOPs, standard operating procedures, are very, very important. If I am the only one that packs orders in my company and I need to now spend my time doing something else, so I hire somebody to pack orders, how are they going to know what to do when packing orders other than me telling them this here, this here, this here? I need a system. This is how we do this. This is how we handle this. This is how this is done. This is how refunds are handled. This is how, all the elements of it. And I need to have a system for that. I feel like I need that in my life. If I don't have that, then I get to do whatever, and then I look up and 3 months pass and I'm even fatter and I'm tired of it. I want to be able to look at something and say, wow, 3 months, look at this. I did nothing. I had 50,000 calories a month. I don't know. Or it'd probably be 60,000 calories is probably, okay, I meant in a week is what I was going to say and make it sound outrageous, but 50,000 calories is actually a low amount for a month. I mean, either or. what will it be when you add up all the numbers? So I'm trying to kind of do something with the AI chat GPT, and I kind of have positioned it to where ChatGPT is my assistant, so I can submit these sheets and it will just keep track of my thing. So I can say, hey, what did I do? What did I average this week? So I'm not spending time, because what's the problem is when I start spending time adding numbers, subtracting, oh, how many gallons did I drink? It doesn't really matter for me to ever look it over. I want AI to look it over and just give me the summary, but I can write it out every day because it helps me complete it. That's where I'm at right now. So the workout sheet started yesterday, was Monday. Today is Tuesday. We'll be in day 2. And I've really been in the gym 3 days already. So today's really day 4 in the gym, but it's going to be day 2 of the 90-day-ish thing, even though my 90 days been rolling. And I said I wasn't going to restart it. So I'm going to see, but I'm going to do a 90-day probably on this workout plan, and we'll see how that works out. And then this is something that's unique, that is probably so stupid, especially to, like, my boy Adam is the most organized guy I've ever met in my life. Everything that he has, he doesn't follow no system thing. He doesn't like to print papers out. He's very organized, but it's all in his head, and he just knows where everything's at. He knows what he said when he said something. He's never done drugs in his life. He's never drank anything. He's like the most clean guy ever. He's literally a computer. You know what I mean? He will laugh at me for something like this. I am a very creative guy, I feel like, as far as like ideas or like maybe even like approaches to comedy stuff, how I might say something to try to make somebody laugh. It's like, oh, that's creative. Like, not necessarily all of that, but it's the same type of way. But I'm not organized, and I'm not consistent, and I'm not disciplined, and I struggle with those things. And I think somebody like me, there's a lot of people like me, like I'm just a dreamer. I'm not much of a doer. I'm a dreamer. I have big goals. I have big dreams. I know what people are capable of before they even know themselves. I can sit here and tell you where somebody will be at in their life based on what they've done and how they do things and how they think and how they talk and who they surround themselves with. I could sit here and read that. But for myself, I suck, bro. I suck. I suck I'm good at giving myself a plan, hard. I have a hard time following it. But I thought I brought a water. This video is about to be over because I need some water. I have this sheet. It's called the 90-Day Dreamer Chart. You can see I put it right there. It might be difficult to see in this camera, but I'll just kind of read over it. I put in here, what time did I wake up and how much did I weigh fasted? So just in my boxers. How much did I weigh? And today I weighed 232. I mean, that's not terrible, being 6'2", pretty, like it's pretty much okay, but it's honestly disgusting. Like it's actually diabolical. I should not be 232. You know what I mean? I have a solid like frame build, but it don't look good. You know what I mean? It's not organized. It's just natural how I am, but then I'm fat on top of it, so it looks diabolical. But I need to get in shape. I need to be fit. I need to be able to throw my son in the air and catch him and not like think, oh, I might fall. You know what I mean? When I'm 40 years old. You know what I mean? I'm this is how I'm thinking now. Got to dial it in. So I got that. I have I said a button, but I have a slot on here that says back to sleep. Like, what time am I going to sleep? So what time am I plugging my phone up? It's not necessarily going to be very accurate, but it'll be the time that I'm like winding down. So that way I can kind of track when I went to sleep here, the next day, what time did I wake up? You know, just to have as a stat. It's not anything important. It's just to know, you know, did I wake up at 5:30 and I stayed up all day? Did I just say, oh, I've been up since 5 and I'm capping? You know what I mean? It was really 6:30 when I woke up, but I didn't look at the time. I want to just know. And then I have on here a section for learn. So this is just for me to set an intention to learn, but not necessarily be held to it. So it's not like down here where I have check boxes, or on this where I have check boxes like done. It's a thing that I can fill out. Like, did I do it? did I read? What did I read? So if I read some scripture, I'll put I read, and I'll just put the Bible or the podcast. Did I listen to a Gary Brecka podcast? Did I listen to a Joe Rogan podcast? Did I listen to Kill Tony podcast or Theo Vaughn? Like, what did I listen to? Or did I listen to an audiobook? Or did I watch YouTube or Netflix? And these aren't necessarily like things that it's like I'm trying to track my usage of these things. It's just I want to set intention and giving myself room to look at this and say, read. Oh, okay. Well, I should actually read so I can write Bible here because it's kind of fun to fill this out. The more I can fill this out, the more I fill this out, the more productive, the more productive my day was. Because if I'm not avoiding filling this out, like I can even go in here and write all zeros and it's a pretty productive day because I'm paying attention and I'm thinking about what did I consume. So now I'm reflecting on my decisions for that day. So I just have in here the learn, and then I have water intake. So each thing that I drink is 20 ounces of water, and I'm also trying to weigh my food. Even the bad food, if I'm snacking on some chips, okay, because I've already consciously gotten lesser chips because I don't want to log as much. I didn't change that I was eating chips last night, but I'm going to take a picture of the thing. I'm going to upload it to ChatGPT. Then I'm going to tell it how many grams I had and say, hey, can you give me the macros on this based on this amount of grams that I just weighed and I ate this? So that with the water intake, so far today, it's been 40 ounces. I just got to fill in the next 20. And then did I take creatine? Did I take my vitamins? And did a checkbox for caffeine? Did I have any caffeine and how much? So I'll write this in, but just at the end of the day, that's it. Like this doesn't need to be something that's necessarily filled out through the day. It's just to know what I did. And then I have Dreamer CEO right here, but this is just me running my business. So number 4 on here is Dreamer CEO. So I have 3 priorities for the day, and they're check boxes next to them. So when I complete them, I can check them. But all I got to do is set my intention, my priorities for the day. So I need to get an order. I need to do size charts. And then if I have something else, it's like maybe I don't have something else. But it's just these are the main priorities for the day, like the big things. And then I have my EDD priorities. And excuse my language. Well, I'll just say every dang day priorities is your EDD priorities. And I have all the things that need to be done every day, but it's okay if something doesn't happen, but I just don't check the box and then I know I didn't check the box. And it's like, oh, well, I can see on Sunday I didn't do none of that. Why didn't I do that? So now it's like I can check in and clock into work. And this is almost like my worksheet. As an entrepreneur, what do I need to get done at home? I need to get done stuff like this. So then I have the check boxes if I completed it, and then I have breakfast. So I have my food. Intentionally, I put my food under my work because I want to be thinking about what I need to accomplish in the day before I think about what I'm going to eat. And at first all right, man. This camera, I just got this Osmo Nano camera. You know, I can put it in any type of spot and get unique little shots. And I'm trying to film my yap sessions with this, but this just means it doesn't mean the camera's bad, but it means I need to shorten my yap sessions because the camera's overheating. So the camera overheated, so I'm just going to rush through, finish this video because, you know, I don't want to overwhelm myself with footage and get sidetracked and all this. I'm trying to be consistent. You know what I mean? If you're seeing these videos, it's because I actually did something. If not, and it's on an SD card, hey, man, it sucks, man, but I had a dream and I didn't chase it. You know what I mean? But if you're seeing this, I'm chasing that dream. I'm doing it. I'm trying my best, bro. I swear, bro, I'm trying my best. I struggle with so many things, bro, that nobody will ever know about, that nobody does, that I hold in, that I need to go take a boxing class, you know what I mean, and get all that stuff out, you know, all that trauma. But it ain't like trauma. It's just like self stuff, you know what I mean? It's just how I feel about myself in certain situations, how I handle things, how I think and how I talk. And so you know what I mean? We all got things. But real quick, so I said the food is after the work. I got all these check boxes. Boom. The food is I I write what time my break fast was. The breaking of my fast. I'm not fasting. I'm not intermittent fasting. I'm not labeling anything. I just want to know what time I ate breakfast. Maybe it has an effect on something. Maybe I woke up at 7, I ate breakfast at 7:03, and I felt great, and I had a great day, and I stayed on track all day, and I felt good the next day and woke up like skinnier and da 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 da. Okay, cool. Or maybe something else shifted. Maybe it could be whatever. And then on ChatGPT, that's who I'm submitting my food intake to. So, hey, I just ate this. I ate this many grams of this. That way I'm not writing none of that down. I'm just sending it in my phone. I ate this many grams of this. I ate this many grams of that. I can literally just take pictures of it, and then while I'm eating, I can log it. It's instead of watching a video or whatever, just log the food. It's simple. If I'm sitting here eating chips, okay, well, feel guilty or not, take a picture of it because I got to log it. Can't skip out on that type of stuff. So at the end of the day, I'll write my calories, my protein, my carbs, and my fats. That's it. Very simple. First things first, though, I do have right here, I have scripture of the day. So this is me journaling. Even though I am journaling, I have been journaling. Actually, that's one thing I haven't stopped throughout the 15 days that I've been starting my 90 days originally. I've been journaling throughout the whole thing. I've only missed 2 days of journaling, and then I got right back to it, and even did some entry on those days too, but it wasn't like for real. So I have scripture of the day, just so this is like on there. Did I open a book this day? Did I open my scripture or my daily devotional? Did I open that? And then number 6, I have fitness. So the things that I do outside of going to the gym is my weighted vest walk. How long did I do it? And what distance did I go? Could be half a mile, could be a mile. My goal has been a mile. I've done a mile almost every day too. That's one thing that I haven't really gotten off track off of. I maybe missed 4 days of that, but it was like sporadically, throughout time. The hot tub and the cold plunge, and then it's just, I have on here time. How much time did I spend in there? And how much time did I spend in the cold plunge? And how much time did I spend in the sauna? And then I have gym, and I have workout sheet is separate, which I showed you guys the workout sheet already. I have right here, workout sheet is separate, and then all I got to do is write the time of the gym, but even if I, like, let's say I didn't track it, I'm like, oh, freak, I didn't do how much exact time I spent in the gym. I don't really care. It's just a check box at the end of the day. I can just check that and say I did it because it's going to be kept track of on here. What I do in the gym is here. So if on here I have a check box for, this day, because these are daily sheets. So yes, I'm going to spend a little money on printing paper, but my wife won't know about it for 90 days anyway. So it'll be okay. By the time she figures out, I will have already gotten us in a better position. I already look better. It worked. You know what I mean? If you're seeing these videos, hallelujah. So, 6 is fitness with all of these things. Gym is kept track of here. And then I have the very 2 last things on here is I filmed my 90-day vlog, which is this, and then I post, and then the post date scheduled. So when is this going up? So that means in order to figure that out, I have to do all the process, put it on YouTube, schedule it, and then it's like boom. And then I write that, and then did I journal is the last thing I need to do. I need to put my phone up. I need to journal real quick, write how I'm feeling, write things that I'm thinking, write ideas, whatever, put it in the book and sit it down. Maybe I'm called to open scripture at that time. Maybe I stopped journaling for myself and I'm just writing scripture in there. I don't know. Whatever it evolves into, but that's the system. So this thing right here, this is a 7-day sheet. So I'll print one of these every Monday. It starts over. And this is a daily sheet. So this is like my what's today's worksheet. I got my dreamer things on here. I got all my life things that I need to take care of. And then there's no time on anything because I'm working from home and we have a baby. And if my wife is going to school or she's going to work or whatever she's doing in that day, if I need to be with the baby, I still got a list of things to get done, but maybe it just kind of shifts. I can still write in my scripture of the day. I can still do my learning. I can listen to an audiobook when I have my son or watch a YouTube video and learn something. I can drink water. You know what I mean? I can do some of these EDD things that are on my computer. I can maybe come out here and pack orders. Like there's some things that I can do and can get done, But this is to help me like dial it in, bro, and keep track of it. And please, man, please just like be consistent for once, you know? Like I am begging you, talking to myself here, guys, to lock in and like really give something your all for once in your life, bro. For once in your life, give this everything that you got and try to be the man that your family needs in the gym, in church, in the home, in my son's life, in my wife's life, in my business, in my charity or in my giving. Be who I'm called to be. Be that person. That's a action. That's not a what you talk about. Oh, I am who I say I am. No, you're not. You are what you do. Your character is the activities that you have and how you actually treat people and how you are. That's what it is. It's not what you say. I say I'm all these great things. I say I'm a dreamer, but am I dreaming big? Am I really chasing this goal, or am I playing around with my life? Am I playing around with my business and with my finances? Am I making dumb decisions that are going to set me back and set my family back and maybe put us in a harder position? As a man, what am I doing? You know, because it hasn't been the right things. You know what I mean? I've been struggling with so many things, bro. I've been struggling with so many things. I've been smoking. I've been watching porn. I've been not being disciplined with working out, or not being disciplined with what I'm eating. And there's just been so many things that have like pulled me away from who I am and who I can be, and so many things that are embarrassing to mention, like struggling about lust and all these things. These are things as a man, it's difficult to have a conversation about. It's difficult to bring up. It's difficult to admit to. And then it further traps you when you can't talk about it, when you can't admit to it, when you can't overcome it and you can't change it immediately. And like you can't do it by yourself. You know what I mean? It's humiliating, so it pulls you in, and you lose yourself in it further, and that's why you gain weight over time, or that's why marriages fail, and that's why anything in your life that you're doing isn't going the way that it could go, because you're not doing the things that you should be doing within that thing. You know, am I being the husband that I need to be? Am I being a present father in my son's life? Am I being a present business owner and like treating it like I need to really learn the business and get really good? Am I being a good follower of Jesus? Am I serving the way that I should? Do I have an attitude too much? It's like there's so many things that as a man you struggle with. And who do we talk to? You know what I mean? You can't really, especially as a man, you can't talk about these things. And then, you know, some things that like we struggle with that are real things, I can't even necessarily talk about with my wife because she won't understand it. It's not that she's not smart or intelligent. It's that she's not a man. Wouldn't understand. It's the same thing how I don't understand a menstrual cycle or what you go through giving birth and what you go through carrying a child and nursing a child. And I will never experience these things. But also as a woman, you'll never experience some of the things that men deal with, that men have to figure themselves out in, that men have to endure. You don't really understand it and you can't comprehend it. And not saying that you couldn't endure it if you did have to handle it, you know, but just on the day to day, it's different things, you know, and it's hard. In the same way how she wouldn't be able to bring stuff up to me that she's maybe dealing with, I will have a hard time bringing some of that stuff to her because she's just not gonna get it from that same perspective. And maybe she does understand it, and when she watches this video and sees the same thing as everybody else, and then she's like, oh, I didn't even know. And then it's like, yeah, you know, my bad, but it's something that I've been struggling with, you know, and just in general, all these areas I struggle with. And now that I'm married and have a kid, it already has been swallowing me, but now it swallows everybody that I'm attached to because it affects everybody. If I'm gaining weight because of my stress eating or habit of overeating and just being gluttonous, it affects my family because what if I die 10 years earlier than I was supposed to? You know what I mean? Because I have something wrong with my health. And it's a thing that I can control. It's the same with all of that stuff. I need to be a disciplined man. I need to be a man that does what the things that I say I'm gonna do. And I'm at this moment, bro, I'm not. At this moment, I'm not, and it sucks. But it's the reality. And I that's like a I don't know, bro. These videos are it's a documentary, but it's also just being real because that's one thing you can't really be anymore in this world is real. You know, everybody's social media is them planning out shots and oh, this will look cool here and this will look cool here and oh, let me get their attention and what will grab their attention span. All of the things that we think about, even content, is about stealing people's attention, stealing people's time, and that's the last thing that I want to do, man. I want to grow and become better and help others with the same thing, but also it helps me because it gives me somebody to talk to at the end of the day because I'm talking to this camera, I'm talking to you guys like y'all are my like almost like you're my homie that knows everything about me because of how I'm setting the camera up and I'm being vulnerable and I'm talking about, things that I struggle with in X, Y, and Z that I can't even open up to people that are near me because it just don't, you know what I mean? It's just one of those things that it's like, all right, I'm gonna film this and drop this in a time capsule. Maybe I don't even make it 90 days, but guess what? That mug is a scheduled upload. It's going up. You're gonna see what I was going through. You're gonna see what I was dealing with. You're gonna see what I was trying to overcome and what I was facing and why it was hard for me, but you're gonna see me on the other side of it currently. So when you see me in my face, it's hey, you were struggling with that and you pushed through and you became this guy and you did this. Not saying my entire life is going to change in 90 days, but 90 days is a long time to lock in, bro, and figure it out. And that's where I'm at. I need to lock in. I need to figure it out. I need my business to reflect having an owner that cared about it, and not just talked about it or yeah, I'm the dreamer guy. Like I don't know, bro. I need to get back to being a kid that just like gave it my all, but then also just being smart as the person that has been through the things that I've been through and is in this current position right now. Like use the knowledge that I do have, use the wisdom that I have gained and do it the right way. You know what I mean? Don't get lost in the sauce and keep like put Jesus first and keep him there in my life and in my decisions and in my choices. And it's it's so easy. You can look at this video and judge in any sort of way, the same way I can judge anybody, but all of us are to blame. None of us are blameless. None of us are sinless. We are all sinful creatures and we sin in different ways and it affects other people. And we can deny somebody because of their sin, but secretly we're sinning in another way, or we have some other way that, we're just, it's like we're judging people with the log in our eye. You know what I mean? It's like you have a whole log in your eye, but you're something about the splinter. See, I need to learn the scripture, but I aim to not be that, but also to not only not be that, but to be an open book to where it's like, hey, I don't care if you judge me because I'm not in charge anyway. And I'm not here to please you. So yes, I've made mistakes. And yes, I hate that I did this and it hurt you or whatever X, Y, and Z it could be. But I don't know, man. I want to change, man. And I want to be a changed man. I want to be a man that's reliable to other people, to myself. I want to be a man that's disciplined, a man that follows through with things that he says he's going to do. I just want to be a man. Like what is a man? Like what are the qualities that a man should have if he is aiming to be a good man? A good, like, God-fearing man. What are those qualities? That's what I am aiming for. And I haven't been that. I haven't. But I also haven't ever been here. I haven't cared so much. The reason I'm trying to battle with these things so hard is because I care about my wife. And I care about being able to provide. And I care about being able to protect. And I care about providing for my son and being able to protect. But my action doesn't always align with it because I have my flesh is like owning me. You know what I mean? So I am trying to overcome, get rid of that stuff, get rid of all of the things that are not aligning me with being that God-fearing man, that husband, that father, that is putting on display in my life the humility, the fear of God, and the glory, like giving him the glory. And I don't do a good job with that. I don't pray in my household. I don't read a lot in front of anybody, or at all. And I don't maybe say the right things that I should, and I maybe get angry too quick. And I have just so many things that I hate that I do, but I am working on them. And then this, at least what I think, this will help me keep track of what did I do? What did I actually do? Did I not fill this out at all? Okay, that's already being lazy. Did I not drink any water? Well, that's why I'm craving a donut. And that's why when I eat the donut, now I'm not going to the gym. And then since I didn't go to the gym, I'm waking up late. And then I forget to do something for Dreamer. Or I'm feeling lazy, or I'm hurt and I can't lift the box, or I don't know, whatever it could be. I can see because it'll all connect. And then the goal is to fill this all out. And the goal is to help everybody. I don't know, man. I don't really know what the true goal is. It's just something it's just a way that I get to express myself, I guess. It's kind of like an art to me, being able to yap. And maybe it's not the prettiest thing, and I'm not even saying that people like it or asking for it, because I don't think that anybody's like, oh, I can't wait till David drops his next yap session. I think people watch it and they feel bad for me because they're like, oh, dang, he's spending an hour talking in his garage about his experiences and traumas and successes and whatever. It's like, but I don't know, man. I look at it a way of like a time capsule to capture who I am and take a literal moment of time, a moment of where your mindset is, a moment of where your body is and where your life is and your business and everything. Like an example, I'm currently in here. Next year, maybe we're not in here. The end of 2030, it's probably completely different. Maybe I have Dreamer at a way different place, and I have a storefront, but this is like that type of thing for me. And I don't even know if that's a thing. Maybe this is just, something for my great grandkids to watch, to see how great grandpa used to get down. How did he used to talk? How did he think? What did he have? Oh, he was a maniac. He was insane. Oh, he was this. I don't know. Whatever ends up happening. But the real of it is, I guess I just want to. Like, why do you post these videos? Why are you saying all this? Why are you wasting your time? I think this is just a way for me to be myself and be somewhat creative in conversation. I mean, it's kind of creative. All right, bro. That's just showing me that my yap session has been too long. This is the most vulnerable video that I've ever done. If this ever sees the light of day, pray for me. Pray for my household and for my family and my business, and also for this 90-day thing to transform. And I'm saying pray for me and pray for me in the that I can change for the better in those things. Not saying that I will prosper and see so much success, but just that I can do well, man. I just want to do well. I just want to be a good dad, a good father, a good husband, a good son. Like I just want to be better, man. And I have struggled. I hit these downward spirals to where I'm, like I said, smoking weed or eating so unhealthy and like just doing things that are dumb, like kid things that most people don't even know that I'm dealing with, or like uh, that I've ever even done. Maybe some people don't know that I've ever even smoked, but yes, bro, I be getting fried. It's not good. Need to stop. It's not like I don't. Not that it's dude, this guy is standing on the chair. He said, "Dad, it's time to go." All right, yeah, I got to get all this stuff organized. I'll probably give you guys a tour tomorrow, and I don't know. I need to lock it in. I need to figure out this schedule. Just figuring this stuff out and following through, bro, is a big thing for me. Like, learn to follow through. I don't have much more time to not follow through. I don't have much more time to be overweight and 35% body fat. I don't have much more time to be like that. Like, I need to lock it in, not be that type of guy. If I have the ability, I need to be in the best shape of my life, have the best financial situation possible for my life currently at that moment, and I just need to be there and better and prepared for anything to come. I need to be. I gotta be able to hoop with my son when he's, 8 years old, 10 years old, 18 years old. I gotta be able to, and I can't even do that right now. So especially if my son, that's gonna be, a specimen on the court, a real prodigy in whatever he does, because he got a pops that believes in him. You know what I mean? I'm gonna push him to do whatever you want to do. I'm gonna push you to do it. Go. Here's how you do it. Go. Come on, let's go. Let's figure out. Let's be the best. Okay, you don't want to do that no more? That's fine. What else do you want to do? Okay, you want to go to college? Okay, be the best. Go do that. Do that. Focus. Learn. I'm gonna be very supportive, but that boy gonna be like that. You know what I mean? So I just gotta be prepared. I gotta be prepared to be there for my family, to lean on when things aren't seeming up. I got to be a role model for my son, so he says, hey, I'm gonna listen to my dad. I respect what my dad says, because I like how my dad looks. I like who he's around. I like how he talks. I like his business and things that he has going on. I like his faith, because of how he treats it. I don't want to be one of those that like pushes my family away from me. One of those alcoholics coming home and getting home at 5 a.m. from the bar, or just being in the garage packing orders fried. Like, I don't want to be that dad either. I want to be on point, but I really, really want to figure it out. You know what I mean? Because I need to be, like I said, I didn't grow up with my biological father in my life. Like, him and my mom were already divorced by the time I remember. Like, when he passed away, I was at my grandma's house staying there because it was like my dad's weekend with us. So, not to say that that's a bad thing or such a trauma thing, but it's just a real thing, and it's something I don't want my kids to experience. And I don't necessarily have the complete control over that, because there's two parts to it, me and my wife and how situations work. Like, I don't want that to be a thing, but I got to do everything in my power to not be a person that ends up in that situation. Because a lot of times it's from people not taking accountability. Oh, so-and-so was an alcoholic, or so-and-so was addicted to this, or so-and-so cheated, or so-and-so did this. It's like somebody always made a decision. It wasn't like two people that were on a straight and narrow and trying their best to keep it together. I want to keep it together. I don't want to be a divorced, or I don't want to have stepkids, or my son or daughters or whoever in the future to have to experience. I want to be present in their life. So when I find things that suck about me, I need to fix them, because why would I want people to have to deal with this? I need to do my part and just show love. You know what I mean? We're called to love. We're called to love our wives as Christ loved the church. And that's it. In terms of that, it's like, if we love them, what would we do? And then there's everything under the sun that you can name are ways that we show love, and we have to do. That's what we're called to do. And we're not even called to get love back. We're just called to get respect back. Wives, respect your husbands, but the amount of love that we show isn't reflected based on what we receive. We're called first to love our wives, So I can only control what I can control, but the things I can control, I really need to get a grasp on them and control them, because I want my family to be together. I want to be a good person, not just to be together and like either person feels forced or whatever. Like, I want to have a happy family, that I smile every time I come home and see my wife, and my wife like loves coming home and seeing me, and my son is running home and dad and mom, and it's no confusion. There's not two Christmases. It's not split up. You got one at dad's, one at, like, I don't like that. And it sucks that that's become such a normal thing in America, or probably in other countries that I haven't been to, but I don't want that for my kid. I don't want him to have to experience not having the guidance that he needs in his life, because two parents are the only way to make that happen for real. Other than that, the kid is going to have some sort of trauma from not having support, or not feeling love, or not having present parents, or not having parents that don't argue, or like, there's so many things that, I don't know. I'm rambling about other things now. Y'all know where I'm at. And unfortunately, I overshared in this video, but we'll be all right, because the Lord got us, and we are focusing on becoming better, not being perfect, but becoming better. And I'm aware of the things. A lot of people aren't aware of the things that they do that are bad, or they are aware and they ignore them. I am at least aware right now, and I'm trying to address them and address the things that need to shift. So that's what I need the prayer for. Pray for me that I can continue to do that, because I'm trying to save my family, save my business, save my financial situation by just being who I'm supposed to be, and I've sucked at it, but we're here, bro. This is the beginning. This is the beginning of the shift right here. We're early in 2026 at this moment. It's a big year. I feel like it's make or break it every year, and I feel like this year is a really make or break it in the first 90 days, or make it break it, and that's the sense of urgency I feel. And maybe that's not what I should be feeling, and I shouldn't, I don't know. I'll figure it out though, but we're still going to be posting these videos, at least as of right now. I'm going to keep filming them, and then get them ready to upload and schedule it out, and then just be in the process. That's something I really need to figure out, is how am I going to organize this stuff, because I am using this camera for like daily vlog stuff, because eventually maybe I start doing YouTube stuff. But my main goal is to just talk for the day. What do I got to say for the day? What podcast am I filming? This is the podcast. And it's just one of those check boxes. It says filmed 90-day vlog. So I'm doing it right now. Boom. That's it. But I'm also like filming little moments with my son and with my wife, and in the gym and with Rocky. And I filmed me doing the cold plunge the other day. And maybe I can use those clips later. But I need to get my system down of how do I organize these things. And if you have a newborn, You understand. It is difficult to have any plans that actually get done when you are at home with the newborn. And I just haven't. And then on top of that, like I said, been lazy. So it's a combination of using that as an excuse because it's really not. If anything, my son need to see me work. So if I got to carry him and come pack orders, okay, I'm carrying you. You're seeing me at work. You're not seeing me just sit on the couch watching YouTube with you. Like, we're going and doing something. You're going to get used to going and doing something. Like Rocky right here, he's used to being in here. I say, you going to work with me? Rock, what's up? You at work with Dad? And he's just chilling. So that's what I want from my son too. So I just have to be that person. I got to be strong enough to even carry him that long. So that's why we're in the gym. I'm just trying to attack so many different areas. And I really hope I can figure it out, bro, because I do feel like I'm drowning. I feel like my business is drowning. I feel like my marriage is drowning. I feel like my health is drowning. And like that's why I'm designing this program to figure it out. Get it locked in. Like, lock your life in, bro. Like, figure it out. Stop being so inconsistent with everything that I attempt to do in my life. Like, finally lock in and learn some discipline. Learn to tell yourself no. Learn to keep track of what you're doing so you know you're not lying. What did I eat for breakfast? I should know how many calories my breakfast was. Why would I not know? I need to know. If I have goals with my weight and I'm saying, hey, man, I need to lose 5 more pounds, or I need to feel this certain way, or I need to get a little bit lighter because my knees hurt and whatever. I need to know what I'm putting in my mouth and what it's doing to me. What is it costing me? So yeah, this is the longest one so far. We're probably at almost an hour now, but isn't that what podcasts are anyway? This is just a different style. I'm just holding the camera, and I mean, this is what. This is like the third cut I've had in this video because I'm still trying to learn how to use it. But this is what you're seeing right here. So, I mean, it's just this little itty bitty camera. It's literally like this big that I'm vlogging with, that I love because it's so low key and I can just hold it and it can clip to my chest and it's a magnet. And look it up, Osmo Nano. Highly recommend for any sort of vlog stuff. But the battery life is a little rough, and then it overheated. That's what's been happening right now, overheating, and I just accidentally turned it off the last time by clicking the button when I was trying to take off the screen. So that's pretty much it, though. The podcasts are long. I'd be listening to a Joe Rogan podcast. It'd be 3 hours long. So I guess this is no different than that. All I'm doing is just holding a phone. I mean, other than having to listen to, like, if you're forced to listen to this, yes, it sucks, but you can click off this video. It doesn't really matter. But if you're just listening to this, it is kind of impressive, I would say, if somebody told me that they can just yap to their camera and start with just saying, oh, I got to work on this, and then yap for an hour straight after that by themselves with nobody else calling, no reaction. I'd say, hey, bro, that's pretty impressive. You can yap that long. So maybe there is a little upside to it, and maybe I stop stressing myself so much on like overthinking. Am I doing this right, or do I need to do this with my videos? It's like, stop overthinking it, bro. Just set the camera up and film, and if anything, I'm documenting, and I can use this stuff later. I can use it for B-roll. I can use it for a video like, oh, this is where I started and I built into this big building, and I'm using these as like before and after clips. Cool. I want to do all of it at the end of the day, but the real thing is here. I want to capture this process, but more importantly, I want to go through this process because I need to refine myself. I need to refine myself too. Like I need to discover who I am, and I need my wife to do the same as well, because being a mom has been difficult. So I think the better I am, the better I'm able to help her discover herself too. Because leading a house, it's a lot more sacrificing than it is saying, like, demanding and saying, oh, this is what we're doing, this is my house. It's more sacrificing. Like, I'm sacrificing my goals and some of my time and some of my money and some of my things and some of my ideas. I have to sacrifice in order to lead a house. And I'm trying to learn how to do that, bro. It's not easy. I'm really struggling right now, y'all. I really am. But I don't care to tell you guys because it's 90 days out. So I either made it or I was in a very bad mental space. Or I still am in a very bad mental space. And you could hit me up and say, hey, man, you all right? Hey, bro, I watch your video, bro. I'm going through the same, you can say whatever. Or say, oh, bro, you're dealing with that, bro. You're disgusting. You're whatever. You can have any opinion. Cool. Don't really care. I just want to document so we got something to say something. You know what I mean? We got a time capsule. We got the footage. Like, you can't say that we didn't try or that I didn't talk about it or that I wasn't who I was. Because people will always try to frame it when you're gone from their perspective. And most of the time you're left with just listening to the perspective. And that's how you have to adopt an opinion of somebody, is based on what somebody else's experience was with that person, if that makes sense. And I don't want to leave it up to others to talk about who I was. Now, if you want to, hey, hopefully you got to say something good about it. Hopefully I treated you good enough for you to say something nice. But most importantly, I want to define how I'm remembered. You don't have to remember me as this guy that had it perfect and had a great business and had a great family and all this. You can know me as a guy that struggled, a guy that talked about, maybe even a guy that talked about Christ but never fully gave his life to Christ, but never fully let him lead, and lived in sinful ways. And you can speak on me however you want, but I want to at least leave proof that I was aware of things and that I know I needed to change and that I knew that there was a God. That's what I want to leave behind, because I don't want people putting words in my mouth when I'm not here. You know what I mean? Or, I don't know, bro. I've just seen so many situations, and I don't want to, it'd be like a situation like, so-and-so split up and now you can't even mess with him no more because that was your cousin's boyfriend or something like that. And then it's like, now I don't even get to hear his side of the story because I got to ride with them. Like, what they said about you and all the things that they say and how much they hate you and you are this piece of S and blah, blah, blah. I just got to roll with it and believe it because, that's what they said. It is what it is. But in today's age, I can leave proof of who I am. You feel me? So if I have a falling out with somebody and they want to paint in a certain picture, it's like, nah, bro, I listen. It's like, I think about Joe Rogan because the world tried to paint, or a lot of other people, but Joe Rogan is one that just comes to my head. Like, a lot of people painted him to be a very evil guy or a very racist guy. But it's like, before that, before anybody knew him as that, people just used to think he's a UFC guy. I've been listening to his podcast since before the conspiracy theories were like during the COVID days. You know what I mean? And I don't put anything that he says as like, oh, this is law. But I do see I lost my train of thought. Why was I even talking about Joe Rogan? Go, Bubba. Oh, yeah, I was watching him before even all the conspiracy crazy stuff, before the world like started hating him. But I already had my own opinion of him because I had an opinion of him before the world like chipped in their own opinion. The world like will show up late to something and chip in their opinion that is completely like coded by an agenda of somebody else. You know, the news people had an agenda to push for him, to label him a certain way, so you didn't believe anybody on his podcast, so you can try to discredit people that he spoke to. And it's like, well, if you watched the podcast before, then you know that that's never really how his show worked. He always interviewed people that challenge ways that he think, and they'll sit there and he'll be like, oh, I didn't know that. And then he'll have his boy Jamie will look it up and then pull up the actual facts. So they literally will fact check stuff on the show immediately. So it's really the opposite of like, oh, he's building up I don't know. They just tried to paint him a certain way, and it's like I've probably listened to him too much. But at this time, like especially during COVID, I'm listening to his podcast. He's posting 2 or 3 episodes a week. I'm playing them as I'm driving or as I'm door dashing or if I'm on a plane. Like I'm listening to that versus watching Teletubbies or something, whatever else that these, femboys got going on that they do. But that was rude. I shouldn't say stuff like that. Yeah, I got to change that too. I got to be a lot nicer. Because I am an a-hole. Sometimes I be having jokes or saying things that I think are funny, but they're really like hateful. I told you guys though, I'm not perfect, but you ain't either, so I ain't even worried about your judgment. You know what I mean? You can judge me if you want and feel any sort of way or not support me or not support my business because I say certain things. It's like, it is what it is, bro. At the end of the day, I'm trying to be better, but I ain't perfect and I'm not claiming to be. Like, people will outlaw you and put themselves on a pedestal and claim to be perfect, and they are far from it, So, I don't know. I overall just want to leave something, bro. I want to leave like how you can frame him any certain way. They can take him out if they wanted to, and he has hundreds of thousands of hours of podcast, literally 10 hours a week, bro. Literally so much that if you listen to his podcast, you have heard him talk more than his wife has heard him talk if she doesn't listen to the podcast. Because you don't talk that much around your wife. You don't talk for 3 hours straight. Or right now I'm at like an hour. My wife will not let me talk to her for this long every single day. You guys playing me in your ears or listening to me at work or whatever you're doing, you know me more than my wife does because it's the same thing. Like, this is a way of gathering that time capsule and then just leaving it out there, and that's what Rogan has done. And that's something that is also inspiring to say, like, they tried to paint a picture of him, but it failed because too many people already know, they already know he's not racist and he's not all of these things that they claim him to be because you've been listening to him. So you know him. It's not like content where it's like, oh, you don't know that guy. He ended up being a killer. He ended up being this or he ended up being that. The podcast, it's like so much more vulnerable. It's so much more behind the scenes. It's so much more. When you listen to somebody talk for 3 hours, you get to know who they are. They reveal it themselves. You know what I mean? Every single time. So, I don't know, man. I am who I am. I don't like who I am right now, and I'm trying to change who I am to be a better and follow I am, the Lord Jesus Christ. But, yeah, Rocky said it's time to go. He said, time to go, Dad. Shut up. Love you guys.